Hello friend, I'm Jabril Yusuf Faraj and welcome to my channel. There are always new developments in the indie author community and it is no different right now. There are a couple big things that are shaking up the way that we have to go about our business, and I'm here to talk to you about them. The one I want to talk to you about today is that Barnes & Noble has recently instituted a new $14.99 minimum for books published through their self-publishing platform. Now, people have been freaking out about this. You know, if you want to be anywhere other than Amazon, Barnes & Noble is one of those main reputable, well-known places to be that kind of lends you a little bit more credence as an author. It's an alternative. You know, some people don't like buying on Amazon, so I make it a point to make my books available on Barnes & Noble as well. Many authors have been raising questions and concerns about this new change, saying that the $14.99 minimum isn't going to allow them to compete with other paperbacks that are on the market, especially people who are in, say, middle grade, like my first book, Guardians of the Cosmic Clocks, The Emerald Tablets. I premiered it, I debuted it at $13.99. I just dropped the price down to $11.99 in preparation for my second book, Wings of the Gods. You could see how this might be an issue. That book is about 32,000 words. It's a novella, not a full novel, and offering it for more than $15 just doesn't make sense. People aren't going to buy it. And besides, I want to make it more available. It's the first book in a series, you know? I want to get people reading that first book so they want to read the other books in the series, and why would I want to provide a high bar for that? So I understand the concern coming from indie authors. It is completely understandable, and I'm right there with you. I'm not freaking out though, because there are alternatives. As I said before, this change only applies to those going through Barnes & Noble's self-publishing software that's on their site. Or it may apply to people who are using Draft to Digital or other self-publishing platforms. However, anyone who goes through Ingram Spark is exempt from this requirement. This is the platform where I publish in addition to KDP. So I publish on KDP and I do all of my other work through Ingram. That's for a couple reasons. Now, I first started with Draft to Digital. That's where I first put my work other than Amazon. But I quickly learned that in order to make your work available to bookstores, if you ever want to have your work in a bookstore, it's going to have to be on Ingram. And it just so happens that they have a handy self-publishing tool for us to be able to do that. So when you go through Ingram Spark, you can make your book available on Barnes & Noble and bookshop.com, and it goes out to libraries and other large retailers. It also makes it available for bookstores to buy on the back end. Bookstores will not buy books off of Amazon. They just won't. It's the requirement. This is just how it is. This is how they've always done it. This is how they will continue to do it. Trust me, you got to put it on Ingram, and it'll help you out anyway. It will protect you from that threshold on Barnes & Noble. If you're enjoying this video, I just wanted to take a little break to tell you about Guardians of the Cosmic Clocks, The Emerald Tablets, and Guardians of the Cosmic Clocks, Wings of the Gods. These are the first two in a 7-book series where the Guardians are going to be traveling across space and time. I'm talking Enlightenment England, Vedic India, Renaissance Italy, and before the end, they will be fighting Nazis and the KKK. If you love mythology, ancient secrets, gods and goddesses, friendship that can't be broken, you are going to love Guardians of the Cosmic Clocks. If you'd like to find the Emerald Tablets or Wings of the Gods, you can do so on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or at our official website, guardiansofthecosmicclocks.com. I can't wait for you to get swept away on this award-winning adventure. So go out, get your copy today, and I'll see you on the other side. Now, back to our video. There is a little bit that you're gonna have to do to get prepared for Ingram Spark, and I hope you already own your own ISBNs, because if you do, and you've published somewhere else, whether that be Barnes & Noble or Draft to Digital, you will be able to take your book with all of its reviews and such and just transfer it over to Ingram Spark. If you're on Draft to Digital, you get in touch with Draft to Digital and Ingram Spark support, and they will facilitate that transfer for you. You won't even have to re-upload it on a different platform. They can just move it straight over. Now, it gets a little more complicated if you went with one of the free ISBN numbers through whoever you've published with, but regardless, trust me, Ingram is this place that you want to be. If you're not transferring it over, it will take a little bit of design help. Covers on Ingram do have to be properly formatted. They have a formatting template that is, a little more complicated than something that you and I have to do. So you may have to work with a proper graphic designer or a graphic design agency. But honestly, in the long run, trust me, it is a move you aren't going to regret. And if you do happen to need a designer, you can go with the one that I already use and trust. Authorpackages.com has been absolutely wonderful. They do my cover design, they do my interior design. They are a husband and wife team in the UK, so you're supporting a small business, and I have been so happy with their work. So go ahead, don't be afraid, make the leap to Ingram Spark today so you can protect yourself from this new Barnes & Noble threshold, so you can make yourself available to bookstores, so you can make yourself available to libraries, and tell them Jibril sent you. Thanks for coming by. I hope you are enjoying the video. I just wanted to take a little break to tell you about my Patreon community. My Patreon community is where you can support me to the tune of a few dollars a month, and what you get in return are free signed copies straight to your mailbox anytime I publish. That's right, when you subscribe at the bookworm level or above, you're gonna get signed copies of all of my books straight to your mailbox before anybody lays eyes on them. If you really love my work and you want to go above and beyond, you can subscribe as an art lover, and then you're going to get some additional rewards and bonuses. So thank you so much for your support. The arts are more important than ever, and I couldn't do what I'm doing without you. Take a leap, become a guardian today, and help us save all of humanity.